Welcome back. In the last lecture, we have seen that functions accepting callback functions. Now let's do the opposite of that lecture, that is function returning functions. What it means that basically we are creating a function and it returns the new function. Back to VS Code, and then now let's write an example that write const and then give the function name as greet, then that is equal function, and then here I am passing greeting. Now here this function will return a new function. Return, give a simple function value, it function. Here we also pass parameters, that is to receive arguments. I am giving name. Now let's log this into console.log, and then here I'm writing this greet function. This greeting. First we need the greeting and then the name. Here I am giving name. This is another function, right? And here I am using the greet function. Greet, and then greet message I am giving that hi. Now what will be the result of this function call? That should be this function, right? Now let's store the result of this function call, that is const giving greet hi, that is equal this function. Now here this value is actually becomes a function, and so that is because of this function. Now this means that we can now call this function just as if it was any other function. So let's write here greet hi, and then I am giving the name as Priya, giving again greet hi, and then give. Now let's see the result. Reload. See here we got that hi Priya and hi Maya. Here we see that this greet hi function we passed arguments as this name. The greeting is coming from this greet function, but this name is coming from this greet hi function. Remember that how it works means it is because of something called a closure. Closures are one of the complex and difficult to understand mechanism that is a part of JavaScript. We have one section about the closures. In this scenario, what we have done means here this function returns a new function that we stored into this new variable, and so this variable now becomes just a function that we can call. Now we will also do all of this in one. Let's do that. Now let's write that greet and then give the greeting message. Here I am giving hello, and then next write the name Riya. That's it. Now let's see the result. See here we get this hello Riya. Now we get the result as a simple, and now this example might look a bit weird and unnecessary for you, like what's the point of functions having returning other functions? So this will actually useful in some situations, and especially if you are using a really important programming paradigm called functional programming. Anyway, make sure to understand the code, that is especially this line of code, and if you understand this, then I am sure you understood everything what happened here. Now, I will give you a challenge that what we have to do here is this greet function here. We need to rewrite this function is using the arrow function. So let's write here challenge. So now let's to make this write here the greet function, and then I am giving here the name as greet arrow. So for that giving app, that is equal here give greeting Here this greeting is an argument and it returns a new function. So this means that it only has one line of code. So right here arrow mark, and then we don't need any curly braces and we don't need to return a statement. Here we are going to return a new function. So for that, write here this name and then again arrow mark. Now simply write this, paste, and also this one. Let's change here area. And now here this is a function returning function and this is an arrow function returning another arrow function. Now let's see the result. Reload. Here you see that what we have changed here, that is displayed area. So this is all about this. I hope that now you have a better clarity about these functions, returning functions. This is all about the session. We'll continue in the next one. Thank you.